Hello Virgo, and welcome to your August 2025 tarot card reading. We're going to get started with an oracle card. Breathe. Very zen. Reminds us to be in the present, to remain calm and centered. And that's not bad advice for any of us, especially when we have a lot of oppositions and some power struggles this month. So let's see what else we can find out for you, Virgo. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords, the Queen of Cups, Six of Swords, Strength, Eight of Cups, Ace of Wands, Two of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Sun. I love it. Virgo, the Sun card is the lottery card. So the end of this reading is a big yes from the universe. So, make a big wish, be audacious. Whatever you've been working on, dreaming of, manifesting, all signs point to yes. So you have some moments where you need to breathe. And let's start with this Two of Swords. So I think the Two of Swords has you at, I want to say an impasse, but I think it's more of a decision making for you. And I say that, of course, because the swords represent our decisions, our thoughts, our information, our communication. And it seems like it's going to be a little difficult for you because you're torn. You're torn for some reasons here, right? Could be this change that you're embarking on or getting ready to embark on is difficult. It's challenging. And so, there's going to be some changing of mind or not sure, maybe a little bit of lack of faith sometimes is what I'm saying. But the good news for you is this is your month. The Sun is going to enter your sign on the 22nd. Happy birthday, Virgo. And when that happens, you are favored above all. You are. The vitality, the sun, the big forces are shining down on you, favoring you. So those personal goals, those aspirations, those dreams, all of that is within reach. And don't forget, not just do you have the sun, you have a new moon the next day on the 23rd, which is the beginning of a new cycle for you, which is what this Ace of Wands is indicating. So let's talk about the Two of Swords for a minute. So the Two of Swords, while you're kind of going back and forth in what decision to make here, and I think you already know what it is. And a lot of times when we have a hard time making a decision, it's because we do know the right decision to make. We're just hesitant to make it. That's true for a lot of us. And it's because it's going to cause some discomfort and maybe a little bit of pain. But I like the Strength card that is at the foundation of that Two of Swords, because the Strength card says you have to be strong. You have to, be wise. You have to be courageous, and above all, you have to be compassionate with your dreams, with your goals, and not let other things, circumstances, or people get in the way of that. And so when making this decision, you already know what the right one is for you, because that little voice inside tells you so, right? That little voice inside has been, guiding you to make this change. And the Six of Swords, along with the Eight of Cups, shows that you're moving away from something, that you're ready to move on from something. So you do know what that decision is. And I think for some of you, a little gun shy to make the decision is because some of the decisions you felt were the wrong ones, because it led you down a difficult path. some difficult circumstances. And what I have to say to that is, it still wasn't the wrong decision, because you needed to go down that path to get some information, to learn something, to gain something out of it. We all do. It's the trials and tribulations, right? The path isn't always just clear sailing. It can be stony. A stony path, brings out some other elements that we don't use all the time. And that is our tenacity and our drive. And sometimes these are tests. So, put down the sword, take off your blindfold. You know the decision you have to make. And I will say something too about the courage and the strength card. It is courageous, and it does require a lot of inner strength to hold steady this dream of yours, this new goal of yours. So just listen to that little voice and realize that you have this inner strength. Okay, now the Queen of Cups is a really cool energy, and I like this energy for you, and it reminds me of you actually, because the Queen of Cups isn't she's not as bold or as extroverted as, say, the Queen of Wands, and she's more quiet, more subdued. She is a water sign, so she tends to be a little bit more in the background of things. She doesn't need the spotlight. And a lot of times people underestimate her. And I think that people have been underestimating you, Virgo. I think that they didn't realize your courage, your strength, your determination, your passion, your magic. And they're getting ready to find out. That's what I think is happening. And by the way, I like the fact that the Queen of Cups is totally unbothered. Well, she's unbothered because she's very zen, and she is not affected by the way people feel about her. She knows it's none of her business. She's unaffected by people's opinions, and she's very calm. And she's very centered, and she has the biggest cup of the queens, so that means she comes out on top and winning a lot of times. So I like that too. So you'll be fine. Now the Six of Swords indicates you are ready to move on and kind of get out of your troubled waters. But like all paths, it can be a little daunting. So it can be. It can take a while to get there, but it's a journey, and you're ready to take it, and you're ready to go into the unforeseen. And this can mean on your professional quest, whatever that is. It can be just a personal quest. Whatever journey you're heading on, you're ready for it. Now, the Eight of Cups says that you're ready to leave behind some things. And some of those things were what caused the confusion up here. And I like it. You're not waiting, for the finale. You're not waiting for a confrontation. You don't need doors to slam and, messages coming in on your phone every 10 minutes, wanting to talk and wanting to hash things out. You don't need that type of energy. You don't even need permission. You don't look for closure. You don't need it. There is nothing more to be said from where you're moving on from, whether it is professionally or personally. You are ready just to move on. And by the way, Virgo, silence speaks very loudly. There's a resounding voice in silence. Probably didn't say that right, but you know what I mean. Now, the Ace of Wands is your new start, is your new beginning. And that's where you're hanging your hat. That's where the dreams are. That's where what you're chasing. And I love it because the Sun card is the foundation of these dreams, of that passion of yours. And it is going to be successful because this is the lottery card. This is a big yes. However, we're going to go and talk about the Magician for a minute, which is your card, which is your major arcana card, the Magician. And there's something that needs to be done there. Now, this also is ruled by Mercury, your ruler, and we know that your ruler moves direct. It's on the 11th. So some information and some circumstances, perhaps financial, will come your way to help you move and take that journey. And I I do like that this is mercurial energy to this magician, because yes, you have all of the experience, you have your own personal power, you have your own magic, and you're ready for your magic mission, but you have to put it into action. Usually when the magician shows up, it says, yes, I'm going to remind you of who you are. You have the power, and you need to go. You need to take that step, because you are ready to go into the sun and to have this vital, passionate new beginning in your life. You're going to have to breathe at the end of this, because it's going to happen very quickly when it does. And you will feel centered, and it will feel right. And all of these elements are going to be flooding into you. All of the right people, the right things, the right opportunities are starting to head your way. I love this for you, Virgo. If it resonates, please like, share, and subscribe. Wishing you all balance, peace, and harmony. Take care.